Sultan Ibrahim installed as 17th King of Malaysia. Government committed to ensuring people's well-being. Salam Malaysia Madani, I'm SAHIH and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim, the 17th King of Malaysia, pledges to discharge his duties faithfully, honestly and fairly with full consideration to all segments of the society to safeguard the well-being and sovereignty of the country. The installation of Sultan Ibrahim as the 17th King of Malaysia today was carried out in a ceremony steeped in Malay royal customs and tradition at Istana Negara, marking a historic and momentous event for the nation.
InsyaAllah saya akan melaksanakan tanggungjawab yang diberikan dengan jujur dan ikhlas dan memerintah dengan adil dan saksama serta penuh timbang rasa. Saya berharap kerajaan akan terus berusaha untuk meringankan beban hidup rakyat dan membangunkan negara dengan lebih maju dan makmur.
The king also expressed appreciation to the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan Hassan Al-Bolkiah, and Raja Isteri Pengiran Anak Hajah Saleha for gracing his installation ceremony. In the royal address, Sultan Ibrahim also thanked the King of Bahrain, Sheikh Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, for his presence. The king also extended appreciation to all parties involved in the installation ceremony and events. Sultan Ibrahim was elected the 17th King of Malaysia at the special 263rd meeting of the Conference of Rulers at Istana Negara on 27 October 2023 and took his oath of office on 31st January this year. Earlier, during the King's installation ceremony, Sultan Ibrahim, 65, was seen donning the official ceremonial attire known as muskat, complete with a royal headdress, a buckle and a short dagger that composed the royal regalia. The King and Her Majesty Raja Zari Sofia, Queen of Malaysia, who was clad in gold baju kurung Johor, entered the Balairong Seri of Istana Negara at 10:21 a.m. to the sounds of the trumpet and the tune of Raja Berangkat played by the Royal Orchestra. The Grand Chamberlain then presented the proclamation letter to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who read it out and formally proclaimed Sultan Ibrahim as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Datuk Seri Anwar, representing the government and the people, then delivered his congratulatory message before the King and Queen. Sultan Ibrahim then proceeded with his royal address to the people, pledging to lead the country in a just and fair manner, as well as expressing his gratitude for those who made the installation ceremony a success. Following the royal address, a Doa Selamat prayer was recited and the Grand Chamberlain then collected the Quran from the throne before declaring the installation ceremony had been officially completed. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to continue all efforts to ensure the well-being of the people in this country. In its effort to bring about reforms and transformation, he said the government will remain consistent in emphasizing noble values, strengthening morals and reinforcing national identity while focusing on enhancing love and loyalty to the federal constitution and rukun negara.
Perlembagaan persekutuan dan rukun negara. Selain itu, berkat kerjasama semua agensi dan jabatan-jabatan kerajaan, kita bersyukur kepada Allah SWT kerana usaha menoktahkan kemiskinan tegar akan terjelma pada akhir bulan ini di samping kerajaan terus memberikan penekanan kepada isu perumahan rakyat dan permasalahan kos sara hidup.
Datuk Seri Anwar said his administration would continue with education and health reforms by enhancing the quality and standard of infrastructure as well as English language proficiency. Additionally, he said the government would continue to explore new fields such as artificial intelligence, digital transformation and energy transition. He said this when delivering the address of congratulations and pledge of loyalty at the installation of Sultan Ibrahim as the 17th King of Malaysia at Istana Negara today. The institution of the Young di-Pertuan Agong is a pillar of strength for the country and its diverse population. Besides ensuring equality and justice for all Malaysians in line with the principles of constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. Datuk Sri Anwar said the Young di-Pertuan Agong's role is also the head of Islam, which is the federal religion, to strengthen the position of the Malay language and defend the rights and privileges of Malays and Bumiputra. While congratulating and pledging loyalty to His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, Datuk Sri Anwar said the institution of the Young di-Pertuan Agong is the binding force of unity and solidarity and is glorified as a beacon of kindness.
Sesungguhnya pertabalan kebahaduli Yang Maha Mulia Tuanku pada hari ini mencatat lembaran sejarah yang insya-Allah akan mampu mengangkat martabat negara. Kerajaan dan seluruh rakyat jelata berdoa kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Semoga kebahaduli Yang Maha Mulia Seri Paduka Baginda Tuanku berdua serta kerabat sentiasa dilimpahi rahmat dan hidayahnya, kekal karar di atas sigasana pemerintahan, juga beroleh afiah dan penuh kedaulatan.
Coming up next, global disruption did not affect government agencies. Malaysia's economic growth, projected at 5.8% in the second quarter of 2024, will enable the country to rise as a strong nation. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim on his official X page today said the country's economic growth this year is also set to exceed estimates.
Dalam ekonomi madani kita janjikan peluang pekerjaan yang lebih baik, latihan lebih baik, pemindahan teknologi yang lebih baik ke arah digital, ke arah transisi tenaga. Alhamdulillah, kita telah memecah tembok kerunsingan dengan mencatat pertumbuhan menakjubkan 5.8% suku kedua tahun ini. Luar daripada jangkaan biasa, luar daripada unjuran yang dikemukakan oleh semua pihak. Terima kasih kepada rakyat, terima kasih kepada pekerja, terima kasih kepada profesional, terima kasih kepada pelabur. Dan ini akan memberikan kesempatan kepada kita untuk bangkit sebagai negara gagah. Dan saya yakin dengan kerjasama dan tumpuan kita kepada pembangunan ekonomi, kita akan berjaya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yesterday, the Statistics Department of Malaysia, DOSM, projected Malaysia's GDP to grow 5.8% in the second quarter this year, up from 4.2% in the previous quarter and the highest since the second quarter of 2022 at 7.4%. The global information technology IT disruption that began yesterday has not impacted government agencies' operations. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof clarified that only the aviation sector has been affected by the disruption so far. However, he said proactive measures are being taken to address and mitigate the issues effectively.
Tapi ini global fenomena. Ini salah satu cabaran bila kita menggunakan teknologi. Kalau ada teknologi glitches, kita akan berdepan dengan pelbagai masalah. Jadi yang penting kita kena siap siaga. Kalau berlaku glitches, apakah langkah-langkah yang patut kita ambil untuk mengurangkan kesan daripada glitches tersebut.
Datuk Sri Fadilah made these remarks to reporters after officiating at the Jusab Electric Vehicle EV Open Payment Solution System launch ceremony today. Yesterday, it was reported that major institutions such as airlines, banks, media channels and hospitals in several countries were affected by global IT disruptions. The disruption has been attributed to CrowdStrike Inc., a US-based cybersecurity technology company providing endpoint protection, threat intelligence and cyber attack response services. AirAsia has resumed its online check-in operation at 2 p.m. today after the carrier was thrown into turmoil by a global information technology IT glitch since late afternoon yesterday. AirAsia Deputy Group Chief Executive Officer, Airline Operation, Datuk Captain Chester Vu said the low-cost carrier would continue to monitor the situation. He advised passengers to arrive early at the airport to avoid potential delays and long queues. Vu reported that AirAsia had successfully managed over 168,000 passengers on 941 flights across its 7 air operator certificates, AOCS, including AirAsia Malaysia, AirAsia Philippines, AirAsia Indonesia, AirAsia Thailand, AirAsia Cambodia and AirAsia X since the outage began. He said this was the first time in recent years that the airline had experienced a system blackout of such magnitude, necessitating a complete switch to paper mode. He thanked all the passengers for their patience and trust in AirAsia during this global outage managed in full manual mode. The Pahang state government has collected almost 5 million ringgit in sustainability fees from hotel guests till May, according to Pahang Unity Tourism and Culture Committee Chairman Leong Yu Man. She added that the collection will be channeled for the development of the state's tourism sector, including maintaining and upgrading tourism infrastructure. She said the state government estimates that the total will rise, especially during the school holidays, and throughout last year, the state government managed to collect almost 10 million ringgit in sustainability fees.
Ya, fee hari ini dikutip daripada pengunjung pelancong yang bermalam di hotel, tapi pada masa yang sama, fee hari ini apabila dikutip, ianya akan digunakan semula kepada sektor pelancongan.
She said this at a media conference after officiating the 2024 Pahang Mata Fair in Kuantan today. The 3 ringgit sustainability fee has been imposed on hotel guests by the state government since 1st January 2022. Leong also shared that almost 2.8 million local and foreign tourists visited Pahang as of March, with 2.4 million being locals and 360,313 foreign visitors from countries such as Singapore, Indonesia, China, Thailand, India, Germany, the United Kingdom, Australia and the United States. Meanwhile, Pahang Mata Chapter Chairman Alex Chia Sin Chek said they were targeting sales of 500,000 ringgit for the 3-day annual fair held at the Kuantan City Mall. The fair is held to promote and strengthen the tourism sector and is expected to draw over 2,000 visitors. The Prime Minister's office will continue to identify students from the Asnaf household in each parliamentary constituency and channel assistance through the Jalinan Kasih program to elevate their burden. Prime Minister's Political Secretary Dato' Azman Abidin said it would try to channel the aid to every parliamentary constituency in the country, but members of Parliament MPs need to submit applications if there are still Asnaf groups in need. He said that so far, 3 parliamentary constituencies, namely Batu Pahat, Bandar Tun Razak and Masjid Tanah, had received the assistance. He said Batu Pahat is the first parliamentary constituency in Johor to receive special aid from Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, as its MP on Abu Bakar had previously submitted an application. He was met after handing over the Jalinan Kasih program contributions at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan SMK Permata Jaya Rengit near Batu Pahat today. A total of 200 students in Batu Pahat, including 15 special education students, received cash aid of 200 ringgit each through the program. Azman said that the office did not set a specific target or number of aid recipients, but prioritized easing the burden on students to purchase necessary supplies that may have been delayed due to financial constraints. Volatility in Bursa Malaysia and regional markets will likely continue, with the local market trading cautiously next week as investors monitor global developments, particularly the global tech rout and optimism surrounding the US Federal Reserve potential rate cut. Rakuten Trade Sdn Bhd said for Bursa Malaysia, the brokerage maintains a positive long-term outlook, supported by attractive valuations, robust corporate earnings and improving economic conditions. Hence is expected the buying momentum in blue chips to continue in the following week. The brokerage firm also expected the index to hover within the 1,625 to 1,655 range for next week, with immediate support levels at 1,620 followed by 1,610. The FVM KLCI continued its rally, surpassing the 1,632 mark for the first time in 3 years in midweek of the week just ended. On a Friday-to-Friday basis, the FVM KLCI surged 17.49 points to 1,636.55 from last week 1,619.06. During the week, the market moved in range-bound trading, tracking the volatility in the global market on prospects of the Fed's interest cuts, and ended the week amid a global tech outage that roiled business and flights around the globe. Crude palm oil CPO futures contract on Bursa Malaysia's derivative is expected to trade on a positive bias ahead of key export and production estimates next week. A palm oil trader anticipates the upcoming export estimates to be stronger, while production estimates will rise by 5% month to month. The market is also expected to trade between 3,850 and 4,000 ringgit next week. Meanwhile, Interbank Group of companies said the CPO market would be trading between the 3,900 ringgit and 4,000 ringgit per ton range. The group said the CPO stock level is high thanks to the current ringgit level, which would boost physical demand from India, China, Pakistan, West Asian countries, the United States and European countries. On a weekly basis, the new spot month ended on Friday at 4,013 ringgit a ton. The physical CPO price for July South improved by 20 ringgit to 4,050 ringgit a ton on Friday from 4,030 ringgit a week earlier. Still ahead, foreign vessel in collision gone missing. One of the vessels involved in a collision near Tanjung Balau, Johor, has gone missing and is believed to still be in Malaysian waters. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, Search and Rescue and Disaster Relief Division Director, First Admiral Zain Azman Mat Yunus said the MT Ceres 1 vessel registered under the Republic of Sao Tome dan Principe could not be found at the site of the collision as of this morning.
Kita cuba berhubung semalam dengan kapal ni, tapi memang betul-betul total communication breakdown dengan pihak kapal, tak ada respon pun. Dan mereka juga telah off AIS. AIS ni transponder yang boleh mengesan kapal ni, lokasi dia. So jadi bila dia hari ni kita gagal kesan dia.
Yesterday, the MMEA activated its search and rescue operation following the collision between MT Celeste 1 and Singapore's registered vessel MT Hafnia Nile. First Admiral Zain Ahmad added that the collision at about 25 nautical miles northeast of Tanjung Balau caused the MT Hafnia Nile vessel to be caught on fire. A bridge collapse caused by torrential rains in northern China killed 12 people and left more than 30 missing, according to state media on Saturday. Large parts of northern and central China have been battered in recent days by rains that have caused flooding and significant damage. The bridge in the northwestern Shaanxi province buckled due to a sudden downpour and flash floods Friday night, according to state news agency Xinhua. It said all 12 victims in the city of Shanglo were found inside 5 vehicles that were recovered from the river below the bridge. At least 31 people remain missing, and initial investigations indicated that 17 cars and 8 trucks had fallen into the river. Chinese President Xi Jinping has urged all-out rescue and relief efforts to find those still missing. On Friday, state media reported at least 5 people dead and 8 missing after the rain sparked flooding and mudslides in Shaanxi Baoji city. Climate change, which scientists say is exacerbated by greenhouse gas emissions, is making these types of extreme weather phenomena more frequent and more intense. Coming up in sports, OCM committed to prioritise athletes' well-being at Paris Games. Stay with us. The Olympic Council of Malaysia (OCM) will prioritise the well-being and development of Malaysian athletes by providing them with the best possible environment to excel and bring glory to Malaysia at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, which will be held from 26 July to 11th August. OCM in statement today said they are dedicated to maintaining transparency and accountability in all operations and emphasise that all expenditures are carefully planned for the successful participation of the athletes. As the custodian of the Olympic Games in Malaysia, OCM said it is mandated by the International Olympic Committee (IOC) to ensure all athletes receive comprehensive support. This includes coaches, technical experts and a range of essential services for optimizing performance. It said funding is provided partly by IOC bodies such as Olympic Solidarity and the IOC's The Olympic Partners Sponsorship, along with contributions from the National Sports Council (MKN) and National Sports Institute (ISN). OCM said this in a statement in response to recent public discussions and concerns regarding the Malaysian contingent to Paris. A last-minute Romal Morales goal have gave Johor Darul Takzim JDT a 2-win over Kedah Darul Aman KDAFC India FA Cup semi-final first leg clash at the Darul Aman Stadium in Alustar Friday night. Visitors JDT took the game to their hosts right from the first whistle, and the move paid off as Oscar Arribas put the Southern Tigers ahead in the 24th minute. The Canaries then launched a series of attacks, but JDT, coached by Hector Pablo Bidolio, held firm until the break. The second half saw Kedah continue from where they left off, and it took them until the 87th minute to finally get the equaliser, courtesy of Habib Harun. But the joy turned to despair as defending champions JDT somehow conjured up a late goal in the 9th minute of time added on, through Morales to take a slim 1-goal advantage for the 4th August return leg at home. Meanwhile, Kedah Darul Aman KDAFC coach Muhammad Nafuzi Zain feels that his team should not have lost to Johor Darul Takzim JDT in the first leg of the FA Cup semi-finals at Darul Aman Stadium last night. He said that given the performance and energetic style of play displayed by his players, as well as the chances created, the Canaries should at least have secured a draw rather than the defeat they experienced.
Ya, dari segi performance saya rasa satu performance yang sangat-sangat baik bila kita bertemu dengan JDT. Mungkin dari segi keputusan tu apabila tewas agak sedikit terasa kecewa dah kena gol di saat-saat akhir.
JDT's coach Hector Bidolio admitted it was a tough match for his boys, however, praised them on their winning spirit.
Previously, we knew that it would be a difficult game, but it was a very good game. In my opinion, JDT played very well. Also, the rival, the opponent, but we missed a very clear situation in the first half and the second half. I like the performance of the team, my player. And this is the first leg, and now we need to play at home with our fans.
KDAFC and JDT will face off in the second leg of the semi-finals at Sultan Ibrahim Stadium on 3rd August to determine which team will advance to the FA Cup final. Home team Terengganu FC, TFC edged Selangor FC 3-2 in the other FA Cup semi-final first leg clash at the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium. The win ensures the Turtles will head to their rivals' home ground, the Petaling Jaya City Council MBPJ Stadium on 3rd August with a slim one-goal advantage. Although the Red Giants were the more aggressive in the opening exchanges, TFC slowly but surely got their act together to open accounts through Muhammad Safawi Rasid while taking free kick in the 30th minute. Buet TFC doubled their lead 5 minutes later through Nurilo Tukatisinov, but Dutchman Alvin Fortes silenced the 31,000 Turtle fan and he narrowed the deficit for the Red Giants in the 39th minute. The goal revitalized the visitors and the level of the score in the 48th minute through a Nur Al-Rawabdeh long-range screamer. TFC, however, had the last say when Nigerian Ismail Akinade slotted home a cross from Tukatasinov for the winner in the 70th minute. In an immediate reaction, Terengganu FC TFC coach Tomislav Steinbrugner expressed satisfaction despite his team's narrow 3-2 win over Selangor FC in the first leg of the FA Cup semi-finals last time. Steinbrugner said the Turtles fought hard to secure a lead to take the second leg at Petaling Jaya City Stadium MBPJ. However, the Croatian also praised the quality and fighting spirit of the Red Giants, who provided a strong challenge and nearly caused his boys to lose at home.
If it's a defensive play much better than today, maybe one goal is enough, but never knows, we didn't lose a match after, I think, last December in final Bukit Jalil, and after that all the matches or win or draw. I'll be satisfied if we play draw.
Meanwhile, Selangor FC coach Muhammad Nizam Jamil said his team still have a chance to qualify for the FA Cup final with 90 minutes remaining at MBPJ. He remarked that his team performed well in the away leg, managing to level the score after trailing 0-2 at halftime.
Dan of course lah, banyak kerja rumah yang saya perlu buat untuk pastikan yang pemain-pemain semua dapat satu maklumat dan juga satu fikiran yang sama untuk perlawanan.
That's it from us this evening. In our top story, Sultan Ibrahim installed as 17th King of Malaysia. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching and have a good night.